Hello and welcome to my review to Dreadlocks, a 2D side-scrolling cyberpunk RPG by Dreadlocks. The devs recently released a demo for their game together with a big update, which got me curious. And I can already say I had a lot of fun with this game. This review does not contain any major story spoilers and the gameplay is taken from the first few hours of the game. So, let's start right away with the world of Dreadlocks. The game takes place in a typical cyberpunk world. In the grim and dark year 2037, where giant global corporations rule over the people as well as the weak governments. In a city called Harbor Prime, your character, Dex, is woken up from sleep by a transmission by a mysterious person named Raycast, who tells you to run for your life, cause they are coming. Hunted by, well, them, you escape and end up with a small group of hackers, Decker and Tony. Raycast contacts you again and you learn you're apparently something like an avatar of an extremely powerful AI named Keller. You also learn the guys hunting you are named the Complex and are planning to take control over Keller to spy on everyone and direct everyone's life. While it's not entirely clear to start how you're involved in the whole matter, your job now is to, of course, collect some more info and then take on the Complex, shutting down its facilities and preventing its plans. While apparently being new to this world of crime and hacking, being a random person with an, at the beginning of the game, unknown background, Dex is surprisingly good at fighting, shooting and hacking and never tries to go a different path than the one Raycast suggested. However, sure, it must be said she doesn't seem to have too much choice in the matter. She's not mute like the protagonists in Half-Life or Rage, and by the way she reacts to events and the reply options you're given during conversations, you don't feel like you're playing a blank slate without any personality. Dex is a likable character. After the intro section, you're pretty much free to explore the game world, the city of Harbor Prime. No one is hunting you here, you can freely go wherever you want, no matter if slum, harbor or upper class quarters. That's a bit strange considering how the game started. There are various characters to meet, most of them offer side quests which vary in size. There are some which basically consist of go there, beat up baddies and return an item, and others which keep you busy for quite some time, sending you from one side of the map to the other. Some quests also require you to make decisions, for example choosing a side in a conflict. Depending on your actions, your reward may differ, and in case of the main quest, the final few decisions change the ending of the game. Don't expect too much in regards to decision making though, the storyline itself stays the same. Overall I found almost all side quests well written and motivating. Same goes for the main quest, which, without wanting to spoil anything here, is very coherent and doesn't make the mistake of becoming unnecessarily convoluted or crazy. It has some nice twists and is, in my opinion, very gripping while answering all questions in the end. Dex makes you talk to a lot of people, trying to get information or simply learning more about the world and its people. You won't get drowned in text though, at its core it's an action RPG. If you want to learn more about the world and its inhabitants, of course, you'll find a lot of additional information all over the game world hidden on PCs or as part of dialogues. This being a role-playing game means you gain experience and level up, allowing you to spend points on a couple of attributes, as you can see right now. It's relatively simple, not offering too many different paths. Your main decision will probably be to either focus on ranged or close combat. Some health as well as hacking upgrades are basically mandatory to play the game in a comfortable way. Personally, I completely ignored charisma and bartering, the former giving a couple more dialogue options throughout the game, and I didn't regret it. Upgrading any attribute does not only boost health or damage for example, but also adds some nice passives. Endurance allows you to get more implants, while the melee skill unlocks additional combos. Since I already mentioned the implants, let's get right into that topic. You can enhance your abilities by, for example, replacing your limbs with artificial ones. Hands which hit harder, legs which allow you to jump higher, etc. There are also implants which make you immune to poisonous gases and electricity or help you detect enemies. Almost all of them are useful, some even mandatory for a couple of side quests. A little bit disappointing though, getting augmented does not change your appearance in any way. Enemies, however, often feature clearly visible augmentations. Plus, the implants don't seem to have any negative effect, neither gameplay nor story-wise. Not getting them therefore basically puts you at a clear disadvantage, and it makes only sense when you're heavily role-playing your character as an enemy of getting augmented. Enough dry explanations though, let's get to the action. While exploring the various locations and doing your quests, you will encounter quite a bunch of bad guys, or later, soldiers, you will have to deal with. Dex is not a stealth game, but some sneaking time certainly gives an advantage. All normal enemies can be taken out from behind with one hit. Big guys, however, have to be either fought or outrun. There are several enemy types which may require different approaches. Gunners, for example, should be taken out first so you can focus on melee combat. Guns were a little bit too cumbersome and slow for me, so I went all melee, which worked quite well. You can block attacks, which negates all damage except from special attacks and guns, or dodge roll to avoid getting hit at all and get out of reach. While you only have one standard attack, a higher melee skill does unlock more powerful combos, as well as high and sweep kicks. It's a simple, straightforward ball mechanic for quick fights. Lost health points can be restored with various medical and food items you can loot or buy from merchants. These merchants also sell weapons and ammo, data pads which are granting you experience points, as well as upgrades to your hacking abilities. Because the second main gameplay element, aside from fighting, is hacking. You can enter hacking mode, which basically is a mini-game at pretty much any moment of the game, which then freezes the world around you. You can now take out cameras, take control of automatic gun turrets, steal money from condom machines, or stun augmented enemies for a few seconds. To succeed, you'll have to stay in a circle you can see in the video right now until the process is finished. Meanwhile, various defense systems activate and attack you. To defeat those enemies, you use your upgradable main attack, one of the 3 secondary attacks, or a special ability you can buy at your local merchant. Getting damage reduces your focus, which represents your health points during hacking. When trying to get access to a computer, the minigame gets a little bit more elaborate with firewalls and more enemy types like turrets, for example. Hacking system is used to gain information, shut down security systems, and more. It's like combat, a central game mechanic. You will have to do the minigame on many occasions throughout the game, so don't ignore this part of the skill tree. Fortunately, the game refrains from including any messy jumping puzzles, because due to the 2D nature of Dex, it's sometimes not clear at first view which objects are in the fore and which in the background, potentially making you leap from one box to another, which you thought was a valid jumping target, only to fall down to the floor. The map is, as you can see, rather compact, and a quick double function allows you to switch from one place to the other without having to run all the way. That's neat. There's not much to say about the technical side of the game. It's a 2D side-scroller with a very fitting cyberpunky art style. Performance is fine with very moderate hardware requirements, as you might imagine. There also aren't any major bugs ruining your enjoyment of the game. Due to the 2D style of the game, there are not many buttons needed to control your characters. The fully voice-acted dialogues, English only, are very well written and voiced.
Okay, the complex is an off-the-books organization, the click of all clicks. Pick a megacorp, Samio, Armagear, Trust DNG. All have it. You won't find a politician so much as cross the street without the complex giving a walk. And that's where the hackers come in, digging for faces, looking to expose. I don't owe him. I don't even know him, at least not personally. No one does.
For new friends, and I'm not giving up my place in the line. Is that you and me done here? What, loads of people write like that? Okay, relax, alright? It was me. I've been writing the letters. But you're talking like...
The soundtrack immediately throws you directly into this cyberpunk world. I must add though it got a little bit repetitive after some time. The clear, unobtrusive interface deserves some praise of its own, and overall I'm very happy with the presentation side of the game. To conclude, Dex is a very solid and exciting cyberpunk RPG. With a length of approximately 10 to 12 hours when completing all the quests, it's on the low-end spectrum of the genre, yes, but on the other hand, these hours are filled with action and things to do. The whole way the game's designed, starting with the simpler RPG mechanics and ending with a hacking minigame, makes for a very enjoyable experience, even for people who usually wouldn't touch role-playing games. What it does very well, even if the replay value is rather limited, except if you want to do one melee and one ranged combat playthrough or something. Worth mentioning is there's a free DLC adding an outfit mechanic. You can collect blueprints for 3 different outfits throughout the game and produce them then with a hidden 3D printing machine. One is for fighting, one's for hacking, and the third one makes you invisible. I absolutely recommend downloading that one. Also pretty cool is the well-made wiki, helpful when you're stuck somewhere. On top of that, there is, as I mentioned at the beginning, a free demo which gives you a pretty good impression of the game and its mechanics. If you're a fan of the recent Shadowrun and Deus Ex games, or simply a fan of cyberpunk games in general, Dex is definitely worth a look. An entertaining, small game, well designed, and with a gripping story. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.